Mr. Speaker, or to oppose the report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I do agree because of seeing on our WhatsApp pages, the kind of character and wordings that have been on the page from Senator Orwoba, which is not fit, Mr. Speaker, for a leader at this level. But, Mr. Speaker, what I oppose in this report, Mr. Speaker, is a kind of punishment that's being meted on Senator Orwoba. Mr. Speaker, I believe there was a better way for this House to deal with this matter. Even, Mr. Speaker, it should not have reached at this level for it to be on the floor of the House, for the entire public to be entertained with the kind of shenanigans that we have seen going on, Mr. Speaker. It's not good for Senator Orwoba, neither is it good for the clerk, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this House has an integrity. This House has some standards to maintain, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, a lot of things go on. And I just want to tell our younger sisters who are joining politics now that in the political field, you'll hear so much. You will go through so much. I'm not telling them to keep quiet, but I'm telling them to know the way to handle. Because the way you jump through the hurdles is what will determine your success tomorrow, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, our sister, Senator Gloria, had better ways of dealing with this. She should have appeared before the committee. She should have given evidence. But, Mr. Speaker, as earlier speakers have said, we do not know what exactly we are dealing with in terms of the mental health of our sister. Maybe she needs to be given time. Maybe she's dealing with bigger matters than even this one, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the frustrations can be a lot, even from the kind of work we do, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I would say that Senator Orwoba may not have handled herself in a way that is acceptable, but the punishment that is being meted here, Mr. Speaker, I think has gone overboard, Mr. Speaker. It is excessive, it is insensitive, it's inconsiderate, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am not trying to water down the effects of this on the clerk, Mr. Speaker. But I believe even the House leadership should have dealt with this matter better. That this was not meant for a public forum like this, Mr. Speaker. It was not meant to reach here, Mr. Speaker. The House leadership should have done better, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I arise to say that the punishment that is prescribed in this report is not fair, should not happen, and Mr. Speaker, better ways of dealing with this situation should be gotten, Mr. Speaker. But either way, Mr. Speaker, without telling ladies to be silent on what they go through, I would also tell our sisters that, people asking sexual favors will now depend completely on you, on whether you reject or accept. It is really upon you. What we would have gone to the rooftops, we would have gone to the top of KICC, is if our sister was sexually molested, raped without, taken advantage of without consent, Mr. Speaker. That one, we would have gone to the top of KICC to shout against. But without proof, we are put in a very awkward situation on how to defend her. We are put in a very awkward situation knowing that the clerk is a family person, and so is Senator Orwoba, Mr. Speaker. This House has not been given sufficient facts to be able to conclusively deal with this case, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, there was no way we could take the hammer against Senator Orwoba, neither were we going to tell her to be silent if she has gone through the kind of harassment that is alleged here, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I will just tell the members of this House to consider fairly both the accused and the accuser, Mr. Speaker, that we should take our time to know really what the Honorable Senator has gone through. Because I don't believe in the right state of mind, she can just put wild allegations that do not hold water. Maybe the way she has approached the whole matter is what is a problem here, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also don't imagine that the clerk with a reputation and a long-standing experience in this House, and there has never been any allegations, it is something that baffles. It's only the two of them that will be able to really come out clean on this matter. Either way, Mr. Speaker, the House leadership, according to me, the back lies with the House leadership. They have failed to really protect the integrity of this House by solving this matter at a very early stage, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I arise to oppose. Thank you.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to add my voice to this motion that we least expected we'd use the floor of the Senate to discuss. Honorable Speaker,